Okay, this is my first voiceover thingy that I thought I'd have a crack at. As you can see, this ZX6 2002 A1P is fairly well dismantled. In fact, this is actually a bit reassembled from where it was a couple of weeks ago. So I thought I'd do this video maybe for future owners, maybe for my own prosperity, and talk about some of the things I've fixed and changed and what have you. So, starting at the front, we have some new forks, which these chrome stanchions here were very badly pitted and worn before. They're probably around here somewhere. You might notice my shed is rather messy, so that's not ideal. So we've got new fork stanchions. Whilst they've been out, we've gone and got the fork springs adjusted, which my man that did that has said that we cut the springs by 10% to increase the weight by 10% weight loading, rather than replacing the springs. So hopefully that's going to pay off alright once we start riding it, because I'm a fair bit heavier than the standard springs we're set for. But they look nice and new and rebuilt and damped and everything to suit. Got these tractor tyres on the front, the old Michelin Road 6s. So they're actually a 120/70, and the standard tyre is a 120/65, and in fact the tyre that were on here before were a 120/60 before putting this tyre on. So take a bit of math on that, and I'll show you a crude bit of math. The heights for the 120/70, there's about 6mm difference between each profile height. So what I've actually done is, because I've gone up 2 sizes from where I was, and I was pretty happy with how it was, I've pulled the fork up through the top by 6mm. So that takes care of one size of the tyre adjustment. And I've just put this collar on, this gold collar at the top of the fork, the shock, just to jack up the back by, that's for 4.5mm spacer. So geometry wise, I am thinking that I'll be just a little bit more nosy than the standard profile, which is good because it was handling pretty awesome before. And hopefully with the springs balance a bit better, it'll hold itself up more in the front than it did before anyway, with my weight, which is some amount over 100%. You see there's no exhaust, no radiator on at the moment. The engine was fully out upon this delightful workbench a few weeks ago, so I pulled the rocker cover off, and for the first time for me, I pulled the cams out, which was a bit of an experience, and checked the shim timing, and replaced some shims, and put that all back together as well. Cam chain tensioner was nice, looking good there, so pretty happy with that. So the engine's back in now. I'll just put the shock back in. I've just got this sheet sitting on here because the rear swing arm is subframe is off, because I needed to get this bolt here off, and unfortunately all the way along Kawasaki has made this Rubik's Cube, so I couldn't get any of the bolts from the bottom of the shock here out because they were sliding through the other way and hitting the exhaust, and so I've put them back in the other way around this time so that I can pull the bolts out this side in future. And then this one here had a pin through the hole, split pin, which wouldn't come out because it was hitting this cover. So I'll turn that around as well on repairing. So the shock's been rebuilt as well, regassed, and everything is sparkly and clean back here. Got a brand new chain on it, which I've learnt about fitting chains and flattening pins, and whilst it's not the most professional job, it is a job. So it's done, and the new Road 6 is at the back as well, which in theory should be the same height as the old one. So that's pretty much where we're at. There's still some bits and pieces on it that will need tidying up, but see, it's gonna go back into reassembly now, and I've ordered some bigger jets for it because I've got an aero exhaust and it's been pretty free throwing. I've already previously changed the K&N main jets, and it's really nice on the main jets, but it wasn't quite good enough on the needle jets, sorry, the pilot jet. So I have that coming from America, from eBay, yet to fit. The first package went missing, so I think I'll reassemble it depending on timing, put the carbs and everything, get it back up to running, and then I just might need to take the carbs out again later to put the other pilot jets in. Just it's a little bit hesitant, just off a very small throttle percentage, and I've got the needles right out already, like 3 3/4 turns. So I believe from my research that the jet should be a turn per jet size. So I've got a jet sizes of one increase and 2 increase coming, so we'll see how I can balance that out. Oh, and I've had the rims repainted as well while it was apart. So she's beautiful green rims, apart from my fingerprints on them. For reassembly, I fitted and balanced those myself as well. Yeah, I did actually. Managed to get a good deal off a friend. Thank you, Mick, for the tyres, and I balanced them up myself, which was a little bit interesting. But I bought some little green weights, and there you go. Tried to not put too many on for those. So yeah, what's next? Get these. So now that I've got that shock spacer, today's mission right now is reset all that back end up, bolt it all down. That'll make it a rolling chassis. I probably wouldn't mind cleaning off some of that gunk from behind the exhaust where they would sit normally before putting the exhaust and radiator back on, and yeah, go from there. So that's my update. Hopefully I can do another one soon with everything else a bit more reassembled. Bye. Okay, it's been a couple of hours, and we are pretty much as far as I can get today. Radiator's on, exhausts are on, all the radiator spare bottles plumbed in, clutch cables reconnected. When I said I got new sprockets, new chain, got new sprockets as well. Went to a 520 conversion, so hopefully that probably won't make a bugger all difference, but we'll see. A little bit less unsprung weight maybe back there, a little bit less drive resistance maybe. We'll see. I neglected to mention before, there's new spark plugs in there as well. And so really I'm at the point now where I think the carburetors could go back in, and I could probably fill it up with water, and then go potentially test ride it a little bit, so dress it all up in its fairings. So that's been a pretty good productive afternoon, and I'll leave it there for today. Bye.